Those Jamaican river rafting guys are not the problem. We need to be talking about the women. I've been on the bamboo rafting excursion maybe like 3 times in my whole entire life. And I think that people really focus up on the fact that, oh yeah, well, they are, where they be trying to do this to you, they be trying to do that to you. But they only do that to you if you allow it. And I think that people miss that. Like, and it's just like with any other man. If a man is wanna deal with you like that, then he's gonna deal with you like that. So I don't understand why people are focusing more on the fact that these men are, running down on these women, and they not realizing that these women is coming from the US, coming from all other countries to come down there and get cracked open like a can of paint by a random. Okay, and I'm not even mad at it, because Jamaican men, they are like that. Like, they are, one of the best people to get your self-esteem up there, your self-confidence. You could look like shit, they're going to hype you up every single time. My thing is, if you don't allow it, you have a lot of respect for yourself, they will not even try you. You're going to get on that bamboo, you're going to do what you got to do as far as the excursion is concerned, and then you're going to go home safe, sound, and in peace. Okay? They are not going to do anything that that you don't want them to do. I'll say that.
So her conversation is based off of the idea that there is this community of women online as usual. Thank you, women. I love these women. I love the fact that women continue to discuss their issues openly about why they are so busted, dusted, and disgusted, because it actually allows for us to learn even more or to use this as a jump off point to illustrate some stuff. So now, I've always kind of seen this. I thought that this was like a white woman thing largely, and of course, I'm familiar with the fact that a lot of these chicks are basically going out of town to get cracked, to put it lightly. But we'll get to that in a minute. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. And then last but not least, I always like to link back to the content creator, so that link will be down in the description. Always like to show love, regardless of how they feel, because it's the right thing to do. You got to link back to the content creator and give them credit. But largely, a lot of these women have basically been taking girls' trips. Now, we're going to go from girls' trips, and then we're going to talk about Jamaica. The girls' trips, we know that women ain't doing no good. Ain't nothing good that come out of 9 out of 10 girls' trips, right? And I'm talking about the ones where they're basically going with their friends. Because first of all, they don't come back liking each other. Second of all, they don't come back liking each other. And third, most of the time, it's always some that's a part of the group that got took home by some random dude and then left their homegirls. They don't know where she disappeared to. And so women have largely been known to be irresponsible when it comes to traveling. Let me say that again. Women have largely been known to be irresponsible when it comes to traveling, especially either alone or with other women. And so a lot of times they can't be trusted. They'll tell you, oh man, you insecure. No, no, I'm just situationally aware. And that's the gaslighting part, is that they'll try to gaslight you and try to make it seem like, oh man, that's just insecurity. No, we just know that you always up to no good. And ever since Eve, it's always been an issue with women doing the right thing. And now there's this huge discussion that's going on online where women are basically trying to paint Jamaican guys out to be the villains, when in reality, the women are doing the same thing that a lot of the guys are doing, a lot of the passport bros are doing. And when you see a guy talking about, because guys is really open with it, they don't trip about it. Women try to use code words like we don't know what the hell they talking about. But the guys, when they go to Thailand or they go to Sasua, you know what I'm saying, and they chasing box and they paying cheap money for box or whatever, and all of this. And then you'll see women in the comments that then talk negatively about them and say that, hey, you got to pay for it because you can't really talk to the guys here. Well, the women are doing the same thing. And she just basically admitted. She said, listen, Jamaican guys is good for giving these women their confidence back because they'll basically crack anything. And a lot of these women are also paying. That's the crazy part about it, is that when box is usually the currency that women can lean back on in order to save themselves from housing, cars, all of this stuff, they are basically paying these Jamaican guys, or they're just opening themselves up to get bust down and cracked up all day long. And apparently they going on these river rafting tours in order to get chose. They are making themselves, and so much for self-respect, right? So much for, oh my God, we women, we valuable, we need to decenter men until it's time for you to be able to get your rocks off and you tired of that vibrator. So now they're taking river rafting boat rides. And she says she done been on multiple of them. What the fuck you going on multiple river ride? Like, is it that interesting to where you only did one? What they don't tell you a lot of times is it's just like asking them how much their body count is. If they decide to divulge, you know that you can round up by a whole lot in the hundreds category, not the tens, not the ones. Go up to the hundreds. And they're basically taking these riverboat rides. They getting chose, or they make, you know what I'm saying? They giving choosing signals. Or I've actually heard of women that are being overt, like, yo, choose me. I'm looking to get cracked. I want to get cracked right now. I'm in a different country. I ain't got to worry about what people think about me. I ain't got no dignity. I'm just gonna go ahead and open up my legs. And they taking them all. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they getting the baddest ones or anything like that. They taking them all. And so usually it's a less than stellar opportunity. And this booger wolf didn't go over there, and they go over there and they jump on this river rafting ride. Now the women are trying to make it seem like, oh, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know that these guys was gonna be all on me. Nah, you made yourself available. Nah, we know what's really going on. And so the women is basically straight up YNs at this point. The women are YNs. They are the new YNs at this point. They out here, they making it shake for a real one. The Jamaican guys, they just going on these tours and they basically having a pick of the litter. So every single night, these Jamaican guys are just busting these chicks down. And in a lot of instances, they actually leaving money on the dresser and they paying these guys. The dudes is getting paid to bust chicks down. And now they are debating and getting mad at each other and whining and complaining and exposing themselves, which it wasn't really a secret at all. But chances is, if your girl is going to Jamaica by herself or with another group of girls, she is going to get tore down and wore out inside of a hotel room or some Jamaican hut by some dude that really is doing it to everybody. But she's doing it because she needed it, and she's doing it because she don't have any available options in America, and because she's trying to get her confidence back. So when you see these women come back from these trips, know that they got their confidence from somebody that was selling them a dream and busting them down, and it didn't come from the fact that they really believe what they saying and that they telling y'all on these applications. It's not. But these guys, they gotta do it, and they are known for doing it. It has now become popularized, and it's a thing now. Ain't this crazy how the tables turn? How the very thing that they was criticizing a lot of these guys for, they're doing it themselves. And then they'll sit there and tell you and sell you this whole idea that, oh no, women is, they could do it and this and that, and we got options and all of that. Shut that shit up. But that's basically what's happening, just to give y'all an update. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Again, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. And then last but not least, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.